Good evening and welcome to HT News, a newscast produced by students in the communication program at Huston-Tillotson University. Our top story tonight, rail or fail. That's the word from Austin Mayor Lee Leffingwell, who gave his State of the City address on February 25th. In the speech, he urged Austinites to invest in rails and buses as the city's new hope for a successful future. Leffingwell spoke strongly in support of a robust transit system with many different types of rails and buses. Leffingwell's address came the same week as a new 9-mile stretch of urban rail was proposed. The exact route is still undecided, but the rail line would traverse the central corridor, shown here with the orange arrow. It would start on East Riverside near Grove Boulevard, head northwest into downtown over a new bridge, then continue up along Guadalupe or San Jacinto, past UT, then on to the Highland Mall area. According to Project Connect, one of the many local organizations involved in the transportation plan, the next step is to nail down the exact routes by summer, then put it to a bond vote in November, a measure that Mayor Leffingwell encourages citizens to support. It's been a month since Capital Metro launched its latest solution to Austin's traffic problems. Metro Rapid buses began running from North Lamar to South Congress, and so far, rider reaction seemed positive. The new bright red buses are easy to spot. They fit twice as many people and stop a lot less frequently. Plus, they have a newly dedicated lane. They also have new technology aboard, allowing drivers to extend green lights and keep traffic flowing. Riders we talked to say the system is faster and has some added benefits.
It gets you from point A to point B really quickly. And I really like having Wi-Fi on there because I have a limited data plan. So being able to just surf the web while you're getting from one place to another allows me to get some schoolwork done.
Cap Metro plans to expand the service again later this year. They'll add another route that stretches from Burnett to South Lamar. According to Cap Metro, together, those corridors serve almost 25% of the service area, making them the highest ridership in the region. The new route is yet another indication that the city of Austin is growing. For the third year in a row, Austin's been named the fastest growing metropolitan city in America by Forbes magazine. The population is now about 850,000 people. That's a 7% jump since 2010. Three of the other top cities are also in Texas, including Houston, Dallas, and San Antonio. For more than 5 decades, the Montopolis Recreation Center has been an anchor for East Austin residents, but the community center, located between Riverside and 183, is suffering from growing pains. And right now, Austin's Parks and Recreation Department is holding a series of public meetings to discuss plans to fix it. As Charles Wright reports, folks who use the center and those who work there are optimistic about the changes to come.
Delicia Walker has been coming to the Montopolis Rec Center since she was a child. Over the years, she's seen a lot of good here and knows what this resource means for the community.
For all the people that I know, it was really great for us. And it kind of helped us grow and helped us be better people.
For San Juan Diego Catholic High School, the center offers the opportunity to compete. Head basketball coach Paul Alvarez rents the court up to 3 times a week for practices and home games.
You know, we're not fortunate to have our own facility, so this place provides a second home for us to host our athletics and various events that we have.
The center's been around since the early 60s, offering sports like basketball, boxing, and soccer. Fitness classes and a free meal program are also provided, but the community is beginning to outgrow this neighborhood staple. According to census data, the population in this part of Austin has grown 18% over the last decade. With nearly 20% of the residents under the age of 15, the Montopolis Rec Center is key to the well-being of this neighborhood. Michelle Rojas is the rec center supervisor. She says the years have not been kind. Plumbing issues, lack of a sprinkler system, and too few restrooms have become major problems.
It's just an outdated building, and unfortunately it would cost too much to renovate it, just because it's so deficient.
The city of Austin is planning to demolish the Montopolis landmark and build a new community center in its place. Eastside residents are hopeful that a new center will provide better services for the surrounding community.
I mean, it gives it more opportunity for different activities, because right now it's limited, because it's not very much we had a lot more to do than what I see now, so I think it would. I think it's going to better the whole area.
The city is currently asking for community input and taking bids from designers and construction companies. Charles Wright, HT News.
For the third year in a row, Texas rice farmers will have to go without water. Just recently, the Texas Commission of Environmental Quality voted, yet again, to cut off water supply to farmers. According to officials, there simply isn't enough water in the Highland Lakes to spare for agricultural needs. The lakes are the primary source of drinking water for 1 million people living here in Central Texas, and officials say they need to conserve water. TCEQ will reconsider the situation 4 months from now. Recent rainfall has done little to improve water levels in Lake Travis or Lake Buchanan, and the Water Authority is expecting another dry year. This January was particularly dry. Less than 1/2 of an inch of rain fell in most areas west of the interstate. Lake Travis is currently at only 38% of its normal level. On March 1st, the Lower Colorado River Authority will decide whether to go Stage 3 restrictions. If you drink liquor, you may want to take a closer look at your next tab. Next time you go to your favorite bar or restaurant, the cost of your favorite drink may have gone up thanks to a new tax. As Sharnia Rowlett reports, drinkers and restaurants are having to adapt to the change.
Jason Perkins comes to Tacoba's once a week for their house margarita in an order of their signature flaming cheese. This time around, he got a little more than he bargained for.
Actually, I was at a place before I was here, and I did notice my bill was $19.49. That's kind of unusual, so I'm glad you mentioned it to me because I didn't know that.
Other Tacoba customers were just as surprised to hear about a new tax that went into effect January 1st. That's when the state of Texas shifted some of the tax burden from mixed drinks from the business to the drinkers. Governor Rick Perry signed House Bill 3572 into law last year, but it didn't take into effect until this year. Before, businesses paid 14% tax on every drink they sold. Now, the tax is split. Businesses pay 6.7% tax and drinkers pay 8.25%. To keep customers happy, bars and restaurants can either lower their prices or pass on the tax. Either way, all businesses have had to reconfigure cash registers and make that choice, and customers have had to live with it.
It's important for the customers to know that it's not us necessarily increasing the price, but it's just the taxes have gone up.
It's just another tax. You know how taxes are. They never go away. They never go down. They always increase.
Even though his bill may be a bit steeper, Jason Perkins says he'll keep coming in for his weekly dose of queso and Cuervo. Sharnia Rowlett, HT News.
The Texas Civil Rights Project recently filed a fair housing complaint against the city of Austin on behalf of the NAACP and other civil rights organizations. The complaint charges that the city is underserving low-income residents by concentrating on affordable housing in the poorer parts of Austin. The complaint was filed in order to pressure the city into building affordable housing in high-opportunity areas of the city. NAACP officials say they're waiting to see what the city does with their complaint before taking further legal action. They expect a response within the next few months or so. A lot is changing in East Austin, and Rosewood Courts is a part of that change. As time has gone by, technology advanced and building codes changed. Rosewood Courts fell behind the times. But as Lacey Jones tells us in the Faces of Austin report, residents are excited about the changes to come.
Every day, Alexis Henderson spends precious time with her 17-month-old son before her daughter gets home from school. She finds joy in being a mother. She is happy that she and her family have a place to live, a place to call home.
It's a community within the community, and I like the schools that our kids are involved in and the fact that the kids get to grow up together.
Henderson lives in one of 124 units in Rosewood Courts, a 75-year-old public housing development in East Austin. She loves living here, but she and other residents have a problem. There is a lot of wear and tear in the units. No doors on the kitchen cabinets, cracked windows, paint sweats off the old brick walls in the summer, and there's no air conditioning. Rosewood is the oldest housing development in the nation. It is built on top of Emancipation Park, one of the nation's original Juneteenth celebration locations. It holds significant meaning for Austin's African-American population. Dilapidated conditions here are a concern for both the residents and the City of Austin's Housing Authority. That's why they're holding a series of public meetings to gather ideas how to modernize. Members of the Rosewood community and the Housing Authority met recently at Blackshear Elementary.
First and foremost, central air and heat. It will have laundry facilities, washers and dryer connections. It will have accessible units.
We want them to look better. We want to feel better. You know, it just seems like the way that we're living, it's like it's not the same as everybody else's. We just have to live like this because we don't have the money.
Alexis Henderson hopes the changes help her and families like hers. Lacey Jones, HT News.
Final plans for Rosewood Courts are due October of this year. City officials say it could take another 2 years after that before any changes are made. We received word this week about an exciting event happening in Austin. Later this spring, President Barack Obama and former President Jimmy Carter, Bill Clinton, and George W. Bush will be coming to town to take a part in Civil Rights Summit at the LBJ Presidential Library. The summit will celebrate the 50th anniversary of Civil Rights Act of 1964. Many key figures from the Johnson administration and various civil rights leaders will also be here. The event takes place from April 8th through the 10th. There's a lot more ahead on HT News. Later on, a new movement in African American history from the Oscars. But first, one HT professor turns something known for trash into treasure. Stay with us. Welcome back to HT News. Here's a look at some of the top stories making headlines here on the Hill. A new project at HT is getting a lot of attention on campus and across the country. All the hubbub is over a dumpster. Movers delivered the dumpster to the corner of Chalmers and 7th Street at the beginning of January. Dr. Jeff Wilson, known as Professor Dumpster, plans to live in a 33 square foot enclosure for a year. Wilson is an expert in environmental science and health and the new Dean of University Studies at HT. He hopes the project helps students learn about science and sustainable living. Wilson and his students are excited about the attention the project is bringing to campus.
We had an interview at 5 a.m. in the morning, and people showed up because we are thrilled about this. We want to help minorities engage in the conversation. Everybody is with their heart 100%.
With this project specifically, I would like to show that it can be done. We will see if that pans out. If you really can live in 1% the size, use 1% the water, use 1% the electricity, and create 1% the waste.
The dumpster is just a shell right now, but soon the plan to transform it into a fully functional home, complete with running water, toilet, shower, bed, and solar electricity. Students and faculty are eager to leave their mark on the project. Professor Wilson plans to move in later this spring. A student group interested in sustainability recently won the $75,000 grand prize in a national competition. The group, called Green is the New Black, took first place in a Ford Community Challenge. The challenge was to address issues of sustainability in the Black and Hispanic communities. The HT team beat out 3 other historically Black colleges and universities. They're going to use the money to help pay for the dumpster project, as well as community garden, field trips to landfills, and other collaborative learning projects. Another project on the HT campus is winning awards. J.E. Dunn Construction and Casabella Architects won awards for the Central Texas chapter of Associated Builders and Contractors for the work they did on our new library. One award was for excellence and the other for merit. Students are also happy because this is a big improvement over the crowded space they had before. The new library includes larger study spaces, a designated lower level for quiet study, and better accessibility for wheelchairs.
With the new facility, I feel like it's comfortable. Have all the books that you need, the computer resources to accommodate to all the students using it, and as well as comfortable seating now.
The renovation costs more than $2 million and includes donated works of art. If you're a student and you plan to come back to school next fall, pay attention. Deadlines are fast approaching for your FAFSA forms. Those are the federal forms you need to submit and get financial aid. If you want priority aid, the deadline is March 15th. All others need to be submitted by June 30th. HT will be hosting several workshops for students in the weeks ahead. Just go by the financial aid office to see that schedule. HT students hoping to land a great internship or even a paying job showed up at the university's Springs Internship Fair earlier this month. More than 100 students and 30 employers packed the student union on February 5th. According to the university's Director for Career Development, that's a record number of students and employers. Faculty we talked to were happy with the student preparation, and the students seemed pleased with how it went.
I'm seeing resumes, I'm seeing business attire. They're looking sharp and they're sounding polished and professional.
I think it's a great turnout. We have these I think 2 times a year, and they just seem to get better and better every time.
I think it's really wonderful, and we have a lot of important sources here that a lot of people are looking for and need. Instead of looking online, just come here and you can get all of that here.
Employers range from government and state agencies like the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality and the Travis County Juvenile Court to dozens of nonprofits and local businesses. They distributed information about their organizations and talked to students about career interests and opportunities. Another career fair is scheduled to take place later this spring. HT students hoping for a career in communications were treated to a visit from a world-class broadcaster this month. Ann Compton is the White House correspondent for ABC News Radio. She covered 7 presidents and 10 presidential campaigns in her decades-long career. Compton was the first woman and youngest correspondent to join the White House press corps. During her visit, she discussed a wide range of topics from the decline of American newspapers to the reporting power of Twitter, to American politics regarding the political climate in Washington. Compton said relations between Republicans and Democrats are more toxic than she's ever seen in Washington. Just ahead on this edition of HT News, we'll tell you about a new piece of equipment on HT's campus that's sure to give you a fresh outlook on things. And we'll take you to the NFL Combines to see how one high-profile college athlete performed in front of scouts. Stay with us. Ever wonder what's happening with the weather over in East Austin, but you're all the way on the other side of town? Well, now you've got a way to answer that question. On February 28th, HT took its new weather station live, and now you can see it on the web. The station shows temperature, wind, humidity, and rainfall, as well as barometric pressure. It's a part of the university's environmental studies program. One of our biology professors, Dean Ketty Hector, took to the roof to get it up and running. If you'd like to check out the site, just go to www.weatherlink.com/user/HT-climate. Now with a look at sports, we'll head over to our sports center and Taylor Terry. Taylor?
Thank you, Brandon. With the national spotlight focusing on his every move, a bit of a stumble for Michael Sam. The former Mizzou Tiger did not do as well as he'd hoped in the NFL Combine this week. Sam ran a disappointing 4.79 in the 40-yard dash. He also underperformed in the bench press, only doing 17 reps. Last year's average was 26. ESPN and other analysts called it a so-so showing, but Sam felt good about his overall performance.
It was a great experience, being able to show my quality to the scouts and coaches.
Anything you were disappointed with? Because everybody comes in there and you have the high expectations, what you want to do, numbers you may want to run, or any of that stuff. Anything strike you on the negative side?
I was kind of disappointed on my vertical jump. I think I was overthinking, but my vertical jump was the most disappointing.
Just before heading to the Combine, fans from Mizzou showed their support for their fellow student. As seen here in this YouTube video, they formed a wall of love around campus, blocking anti-protesters from a local church. As you know, Sam announced he was gay just before he entered the draft, becoming the first openly gay NFL player. Amidst the controversy over Alex Rodriguez and his use in steroids in baseball, statistics show high school athletes in Texas are steering clear of steroids. According to the data available, steroid use for Texas athletes is not a serious problem. Statistics from the University Interscholastic League, or UIL, show that during the 2012-2013 school year, fewer than 0.1% high school athletes in Texas tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs. In all, nearly 3,500 students were tested for antibiotic steroids. 7 players tested positive, 2 others broke rules taking their tests, bringing the numbers to 9 violators. The UIL tests primarily during the playoffs of every sport. Players are tested at random. Big changes to report from some college sports fans here in Central Texas. This week, the University of Texas at Austin began allowing alcohol to be sold at some of its sports events. For now, they're all allowing beer and wine at basketball, baseball, and softball games, as well as the Texas Relays. Of course, you have to be 21 to buy it. No decision yet on football. Finally, tonight, we'd like to congratulate HT's entire athletic program for winning an Elite Award. The National Association of Intercollegiate Athletes named HT one of its 2012-2013 Champions of Character. The award covers students from every sport, from volleyball and soccer to track and basketball. Athletes demonstrated their 5 core values of integrity, respect, responsibility, sportsmanship, and leadership. This is the 4th consecutive year that HT has won the award. Coaches are thrilled to say and recognize the entire university.
It shows incoming students who want to come to this institution that this is an institution of not only higher education learning, but it's got good core value traits.
We'd also like to congratulate 4 women volleyball players, Nicole Cowan, Octavia Golden, Dejanay Robinson, and Amber Green, for all also receiving all-conference performance awards last fall. And with that, I'll send it back to you, Brandon.
Thank you, Taylor. Finally tonight, 2 men have made history at the Academy Awards. 12 Years a Slave won the Oscar for Best Picture, making history as the first movie from a black director to win the film industry's highest honor. The movie also won 2 other Oscars for Best Supporting Actress and Best Adapted Screenplay. The movie Gravity won the most Oscars with 7 awards. Alfonso Cuarón was the first Latin American to win the Best Director award. Well, that's it for this edition of HT News. We appreciate you watching and look forward to seeing you back here soon. From all the students in HT's communication program, good night.